running for U.S. Congress as part of a national slate of LaRouche Democrats, and concerning the present war threats that are going on to Syria and Iran, coming off the heels of this war in Libya, which Obama was in violation of the War Powers Act for that. But these war threats to Syria and Iran have little to do with those nations, but actually have to do with a war against Russia and China. And we had certain people within the U.S. military, particularly retired generals, Joseph Hoare, John Johns, come out and shine a light on this, that a war danger with Iran could spread much larger. Apparently people within the Joint Chiefs of Staff came out and told Obama to put the skids on an Israeli first strike on Iran. Point being, the Russian President Medvedev has come out and he had asked Obama for assurance that that the missile defense systems in Eastern Europe were not aimed at Russia. And Obama refused to give any sort of assurance. They then activated their missile systems. We are now in the danger of a thermonuclear showdown. There are those in China that recognize that this is the danger. Obama just set up his base in Australia. This thing is about to go wildly out of control. Now, the Russians put forward LaRouche's Strategic Defense Initiative, which they call the Strategic Defense of the Earth, to deal with the threat of thermonuclear war, but also the threat from asteroids and debris we can face from space. Now, that would be a war avoidance policy, so we could work with with Russia. China would like to work with us on this too. And my question for you is, Obama has violated the Constitution. Even the threats to Iran, Joe Biden and Obama himself said that if Bush would have started a war with Iran, that would have been impeachable then. And no one has the guts to come forward and impeach this guy when we're on the edge of a thermonuclear showdown with these nations.
Two things about that. First of all, I actually agree with the overarching concern, which is that our increasing hostility and belligerence between us and Iran is vastly more dangerous than most people realize. And you've got to look back at the history of how we get into conflicts and the steps that are taken before we get there. Now, I don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I also think that Iran is a horrible, horrible country that exports terrorism, that supports all manner of instability and violence across the Middle East. And we have to have a cooperative local strategy to contain it. But I just want us to be careful about stepping across the line and going into an active war with Iran, because I think it will spin out of control. Maybe not that far, but the potential is clearly there. And at a minimum, it would cause a major conflict in the Middle East, which would disrupt the global economy in a severe way. Now, I think the way to avoid that is to bring enough economic pressure to bear on Iran so that they actually come to the table and agree to table their nuclear weapons program. Now, there's all kinds of other bad things that Iran is doing, but that's the one we're focused on. Now, I supported, President Obama got very critical for saying that he would be happy to talk with the Iranians. We made that effort, and the president was roundly criticized for a substantial period of time for making that effort. The Iranians didn't reach back, didn't have that diplomatic conversation. So now the economic sanctions, I think, is the best route to go. But a lot of those decisions need to be made very carefully. Now, one final thing I want to say about the Russian piece that I've never quite understood. The Russians are objecting to a missile defense system. Okay? A missile defense system hits missiles coming at them. They can't ever really be aimed at anybody. All right? If the Russians aren't planning on firing missiles at other Eastern European countries, then they got nothing to worry about. That missile defense system, ironically, is there because of Iran. Iran is the country that they're worried about having that capability. So, last thing I'll say is, I think we should work with Russia and China to try to find a way to, as three of the largest powers in the world who are vested in peace and stability, find ways to be cooperative agents of peace and stability instead of trying to figure out ways to irritate each other. But it's complicated and difficult. Russia has not always been easy to deal with for a number of different reasons on that. But the Iranian thing is, I think, more serious than most people realize.
If I could just add quickly, because it is an insane idea to have a thermonuclear showdown or even get in the danger of it. Now, Obama is under the control of an international financial group, which is collapsing. The whole transatlantic system is melting down. Europe is collapsing, Wall Street's collapsing, but Asia is actually rising. So this war is to target Asia, and it will go thermonuclear as this financial system disintegrates. And the issue is to reduce world population, which is actually the crowd that, this international financial group, they've said it over and over.
On those last several points is where we deploy. But,
that's just to be made clear, because it is insane beyond that, but that the people who are running Obama are insane.
Gotcha.
Make that a chance.
Slate welcomes the clear and reasonable statements from the Russian president and would like to urge on behalf of the American people that the saner elements of the U.S. presidency take urgent measures now under Section 4 of the 25th Amendment to remove President Barack Obama from office.
Abraham Lincoln's idea of government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Hi, this is Rachel Brown inviting you to our emergency town meeting this Saturday in Boston.
Look, we mobilized to get Glass-Steagall in and made the point to all those who said, yes, we're for Glass-Steagall.
The solution that lies before us, once again, is the American patriots and citizens of the world coming together.
Or the job description of the slate of 6 candidates is we're actually ambassadors from the galaxy.